Yeah, viewers all over the world. For some of you that are seeing me for the first time, call me Ogbuefi Ezeana, ugochitubelu na Oraifite, or call me Akajibo. I'm an ancient high priest. Abụ m onye isi nchụaja na ugochitubelu ọdịnala temple. Anyị na-arụ ọrụ dị iche iche, gbaa afa dị iche iche, afa miri emi. Abụkwazị m onye isi nchụaja ọdịnala na Restoration Evangelical Mission, bụrụ onye mgbasa ozi ọdịnala Igbo. So you can call me a priest or an evangelist. I will answer. My mission is to help people live better life. N'ụbọchị taa n'oge awa nke eziokwu, today's topic is what you should know about oath of life. What you should know about oath of life. Now, what is oath of life? Oath of life is oath, what you have declared, how you want your life to be. Life is a continuous one. And I'm here to tell you that no one on earth, no human being here on the earth is here for the first time. Some people have been here a couple of times. Even those little children you are seeing out there are old souls in your body. And there are some certain decisions oath we took in our previous earth life. Yes, that was carried over to this present earth life. Yes, and some of those oaths we took in our previous earth life is the genesis of what we are passing through as today. Sometimes people do take oath of life without even knowing the implication. There is a power in spoken words. Nothing is vanity. We human spirits, we have ability to create. Ndị Igbo na-atụ say our one Igbo adage says, and I quote, "N'okwu ekwurekwu bụ obi afụlanya," meaning your spoken words is from the abundance of the heart, because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So today we are here to explain so many things concerning oath of life, and what you have to do whenever you want to reverse it, then or activate it, as case may be, whether positive or negative. But before we dive into today's lecture proper, an important announcement: we are still in the second month of 2026, February, and our monthly rituals is still ongoing. You can join us anywhere you are all over the globe. Distance is never a barrier in all we do in the temple. We started these group rituals over 4 years now. Believe in me, we have massive testimonies. But as you all know, we don't share testimonies on social media because it's not actually why we are here. But I can tell you that God is doing great things upon the lives of those that have been in these group rituals, because group is power. Group rituals is more beneficial, yes, than individual sacrifices. So if you are interested in joining our group rituals, what you have to do is to chat me on WhatsApp. For your 3 prayer requests, we place it in the altar. Then we'll be doing all the daily sacrifices and rituals and prayers on your behalf till the last day of the month. We visit the waters with sacrifices on behalf of all. Then proceed back to the temple to offer sacrifices to entities of powers. Then offer sacrifice of ram on behalf of all. I will advise you to always be in a midst of group rituals. It's very important. But before we dive into today's lecture, look on your screen. You will see my number in case if you have any question. My WhatsApp number remains 0805 7837672. I repeat, 0805 7837672. Now let's proceed. The topic of today is what you should know about oath of life. I'm here to tell you that all of us here on earth have oath we took in the previous earth life. And as a result of that oath we took is one of the reasons why we are here on earth, in order to redeem it or to benefit from it. whether that oath is as a karma or for us to advance to the next level in life. Many a times, I will give you some examples of oath we took on earth. I have seen a woman that have swore that next word that she is not interested in anything called marriage or childbearing. What prompted her decision and her anger is because this woman have suffered so much in the family, raising her children. At the end of the day, none of her children still remember her till date. From first prophecy, because the problem is that his children began to experience challenges of life, both male and female. Yes, the cause of the problem, I trace it to their foundation, and there's something that needed to be done urgently in order to break the yoke. But before I came across the woman, they went somewhere, and the false prophet prophesied, telling one of the woman's child that the cause of their problem is from home, that there is a witch in their family, and that witch, according to how they analyze it, they said is their mother. So for that reason, the whole 5 children begin to hate their mother, calling her a witch. So, and the case was later brought to me. But what I want to tell you there is that the woman cried and said she sold her clothes after the loss of her husband. She raised these children single-handedly from when they are still children. As grown up, the woman was expected to begin to eat the fruit of her labor, as in let the children begin to take care of her. All of a sudden, from the pit of hell, an accusation was leveled against her by a fake prophet. And that was what bastardized the union that once existed between the woman and her children. That's how these children begin to call their mother witch. How I know about the story is that one of the child, the son of the other woman, approached me. And before he approached me, they have sold to themselves, agreed to themselves that the cause of their problem, their predicament is coming from their mother, that their mother is a witch. And when one of the son consulted me reluctantly, they have already agreed that their mother is a witch, remember. But he consulted me just to fill all the formalities. And when I dive deeper into the cause of their problems, I find out that the problem, the woman they are accusing, their mom, which they are accusing, her hands are clean. But actually, what is their problem is from the roots, from their family roots. Yes. Actually, there is a woman married into that family. And that woman, they treated that woman badly by their grandfather. As in, their grandfather married the woman in question. And when their grandfather died, the family conspired and treated that woman that was married into their family badly, so that they would push her away. and take all her properties. So that is exactly what happened. And that woman, because of how they treated the woman placed curse on the family. And when the woman eventually died, they did not even accord the woman a befitting burial. So that woman placed a curse on the family. And I found out that it's only until appeasement is done, restitution must be done. And doing the right thing, as in giving the woman the befitting burial, so that she will take her place in the spiritual realm as one of the, the ancestors of that family. If such is not done, they will remain in agony. And this prophet they went to saw an anger from a woman from their family, but the prophet didn't see it very clearly. He saw the arrow coming from the family, anger, and he now narrates the woman, saying it's a woman that is very average, is black in complexion, and rest of them. And he's always quick to anger. Now, with all these attributes, they thought is that the prophet was divided to their mother. Because actually their mother is another woman married to their family too. So it's a misconception. Some of these prophets, they will see, but they will not see it clearly. So that's what destabilized this family. And when I told them that their mother they are accusing is not the problem of that family, and I told them what I saw clearly. So, and then when the guy that contacted me went to his siblings and telling them, look at what I said, that is different from what they believe over the years. Some of them begin to debate within themselves, but I keep telling them that if they like, let them, even if they hate their mother, and they should not allow that woman to die in agony. Because if that woman dies in agony, is the thing will be more problem. There will be more problems for them. They should do everything humanly possible so that that woman will reverse what she said now that the woman is still alive. So the woman said in the spirit, because of the anger and the condition they left the woman in the village. So I contacted the spirit of that woman. The woman is still alive, their mother is still alive, but is still lamenting in agony. And she was so bitter, hitting her hand on the ground, that her own children is accusing her wrongly. So she now swore that in next life that she will not get married and will not interested in having children. So because of what he said now, it become an oath of life. I know many people that have taken oath of life. Some many I see nowadays. Some took oath of life that in the next world they are not interested in anything related to man. So even if in next world, if that oath of life was not reversed, meaning that even if in next world the woman will not be interested in getting married or will have anything to do with man because of previous experiences. The same thing with some men also took oath that in the next life is not interested in getting married. Even though I know some people that have taken oaths that in next life is not interested in childbearing. You know why? After training his children, none of them remembered him when the chief sat down. And he felt betrayed that after what he labored in vain. So many people with different oath of life based on their experiences. I know some people that have took oath of life that they will never help anybody again. because they have helped people countless times, and what they get in return is betrayal. And there's power in spoken words. And don't forget, that word is a word spoke in anger. Let me tell you what will surprise you. You see in creation, words and our thoughts and actions forms. We hear about thought forms. Yes. So it's like whatever, because we human beings, we create in so many ways. We create by our thought. We create by our actions. Yes. So because whatever that is imaginable is achievable. Whatever that you are seeing that was created was once an intention harbored in the mind. Nurture it with vibrations and make it turn into the reality. Even if you decide to be successful tomorrow, you must have this burning desire within you to be successful. Now you work towards that energy because you have already created that success you want, life you want for yourself. Then you work it out. So the same way with oath of life. Oath of life is what you said in anger. There is also positive ones of oath of life, what you said in happiness. So whatever you said, any word you said when you are so happy, creates thought forms. It creates higher vibrations in the spiritual realm. The same thing, any words you said when you are angry, create thought form too. So we will always be mindful of what we say when, especially when we are angry. When you are happy is the best time for you to speak positivity into your life, because those things you say when you are happy, joyful mood, and when you are angry, sad mood, create forms faster than those things you say when you are at their normal. Let me stop here, but it's a food for thought for you to digest, to understand. If need be, I will still dissect what this particular lecture for you to have deeper understanding of how things work in creation. Let me stop here. If you have any question in today's lecture, you want us to do deep consultation for you, chat me on WhatsApp 0805 78 Let us pray. Ekwem, 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 ekwere m na Chineke. Ekwere m na ọ dị ihe siri m ike nke Chineke na-apụghị izi m ụzọ m ga-esi lụwo ya, n'ihi na ọ mazuru ihe niile. Obi m siri ike na Chineke emeworo m ya. Ya gazie. May the blessings of Chukwuoke be with you all. May you be protected. May you be blessed now and forevermore. Ya gazie. Wish you the best.